So, in celebration of Forensic Week, we have the benefit of Ms. Bouchamoun and Ms. Jernigan here, and we're going to have a dialogue about the crime scene unit, the work that these ladies do.
Hi, I'm Brittany Jernigan, and I've been with Hampton for about 2 years.
Hi, my name is Christine Bouchamoun. I'm a senior forensic specialist. I've been with Hampton for about 5.5 years.
That's great, ladies. But for a little more depth, tell us how you chose crime scene as your career path, what you've done in preparation to be successful in that field, and some of your experiences, your accolades, and what makes you so efficient and so great.
Thank you for the compliment. Really appreciate that. I'm originally from California, San Diego, California. I have my bachelor's in justice studies from San Jose State University, and we are both currently actively working on our master's.
Good.
It's a work in progress in forensic science, but we're getting there. And then I did intern back in California for 2 years at the National City Police Department. So I was in investigations and I helped with like admin stuff, and I did a bunch of ride-alongs with the officers, and then I also did a couple ride-alongs with my cousin who works in crime scene in Omaha, Nebraska. We went to a residential burglary. So that was really cool seeing a different state and how they process things. I originally was interested in forensics. We were talking about this like before, how it's like the whole cliche of how everyone gets into like forensics because of like the shows, the TVs and stuff. And we didn't necessarily want to say that because we're like, just because people watch that show doesn't necessarily mean that they should enter into like the forensics field. It does take a certain kind of person to be able to handle the stuff that we do see. And it's not like the most easiest of jobs, mentally and physically for sure. But it was like, I did watch like Forensic Files growing up. I was really interested in some sort of field career in law enforcement, and just personal preference. I necessarily personal preference. I didn't want to carry a gun, so that's why I didn't necessarily want to go into the police field. But I liked how this was parallel to it in regards that it's about the same, except, we are a civilian. So that's what I did like about crime scene.
Excellent. Ms. Bouchamoun, she stacked it for you.
Yeah, I know. That was a lot.
I threw you in there too.
So I'm originally from Jersey, a little farm town, Jersey. I originally got interested in forensics, again, TV, sparked my interest, and then I actually took a forensics class in high school. And then that got me hooked into the field, and I studied forensic chemistry at Towson University in Maryland. From there, I was volunteering for like search and rescues. We actually went to like Kentucky and other places like that, just trying to get my foot in the door. Similarly to Brittany, I did not want to carry. And in Jersey, their forensics are actually sworn. So now I'm here.
Wouldn't want to be anywhere else.
Yes.
That's the right answer. So we talked about you ladies have a great deal of diversity and what have you. And we talked about how you got interested in the field watching television or seeing all the shows that highlight forensics. But talk to the public about that other side, not the glorified picture that you see in television, but maybe some of the other hurdles and difficulties, because we mentioned about, everyone's not built to do it. You see a lot of things. You see things that the officers may see. You see the things that the public is not privy to. And so speak to that to give some, validation, reality to the difficulties of the job. If you would be so kind as to speak to some of the difficult parts of it.
Long hours. We don't get relieved on a scene. So you may be out there for like 12 hours and then another scene comes in and you're up for like 24, 36 hours straight. So it's not like TV where you just get like a nice little picture that shows up automatically and you get your leave within 48 hours.
Inclement weather, no matter what the weather is.
Oh my gosh. Yes, I had one.
We don't like rain.
Oh my gosh. Christmas Eve. You weren't here for that? Oh my gosh. We got called in at 2 a.m. I checked my phone. It was 12 degrees outside. And I'm from California. So this is cold and it was freezing, and our van heater was not working. I was frozen. Oh my gosh, that was the
and trying to
It's
operate
worst.
a camera and
Yes,
processing with
and
gloves
shivering.
on is not
and
fun.
like your hands like hurt because it's just like
They're
frozen
frozen.
solid.
Right.
Oh my gosh, that was the worst one that I had.
But I hate heat.
Oh yeah,
More. So when was this? June?
of 22. 'cause it was
22?
before I started.
It was like 100 degrees
Yeah.
outside. It was a homicide. I felt like I was going to die.
They were out there forever. I don't know if you heard about the infamous.
I think I was out
No.
there for like 12 hours. It was just very, very hot.
And
But you have to keep on going. I mean,
Gotta get it done.
occasionally you take breaks just, so you don't pass out. But
all
the
that
weather is
being
awful.
said, you all have been through that. You've endured. So there has to be highlights. What motivates you to come back the next day and do it all over again, knowing
it's always
exactly what's
something
waiting?
different.
I was gonna say I don't know if we have like a bucket list of things that we want
We
to
want
see.
this.
Okay.
We are.
You can cut that out.
I mean-
because like the stuff we see, like it's interesting.
Yeah.
To us.
Sure.
It's so cool. Like,
We get to see everything
Yeah.
every day that
Right.
people watch on
Yes.
shows.
Sure.
It's cool.
So it's interesting. It's always something different.
And you
You
get
never
to
know what you're going to get.
and you get to do real life detectives as well. I mean, you don't necessarily have the role of a sworn officer or detective, but you are actually investigating those scenes. You're looking for the things that are overlooked by the common eye, by the investigators. You get to see the, details that are associated with these scenes. And then,
it is nice also because like we did say before this, we are very antisocial people and we don't have to deal with the public as much as the investigators do and detectives. So it is nice that we're able to like, what is it?
compartmentalize.
Yeah, like the
Mhm.
different like varieties
Sure.
of like the crime scene work.
I always say that I like that my people don't speak back to
Your customer service is bad. That's what you're saying?
me.
Okay.
Exactly.
All right. That's pretty much what it amounts to.
It's fine.
That's really funny. Yeah.
But you
Yes, it's true.
But intricate and an essential part of bringing justice and closure to families, because without evidence collection, without being able to secure, the information that's required to bring the people responsible for violent acts of crime, hold them accountable, and bring relief to families, you all have to appreciate how important and significant your contributions to that efforts are. I know the detectives get all the glory and they get to be up front and get all
They
the
get the
accolades.
pizza parties,
They get the
yeah.
pizza parties. But
We're the
it doesn't
behind the
happen
scenes.
without
Yeah.
you guys. You're the behind the scenes. And I always say that's a foundation of any successful operation is that infrastructure, the people behind the scenes, grassroots and investigation and efforts that you all contribute is, again, invaluable to the agency, to the profession, and most certainly to the victims to which your efforts bring them justice and makes that whole. So that's appreciated. And this conversation all comes by way of Forensics Week. So what are you all looking to do to, take advantage or celebrate a week that's dedicated to your profession?
We were offered a lunch, so looking forward to free food.
We work.
That's
for
fun.
food.
We work for
I'll keep
food.
that in mind.
They did we did some group photos. They emphasized some bios just so the community is able to get to know us rather than just
Sure.
the people that they see on the medias, that they see behind the camera and stuff. So that's nice that we do get that. Swag would be nice.
Okay.
I love swag.
Yeah, we like
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah, we do like free things.
Everyone?
Yeah.
Everyone does.
We would love, I don't know if this is in your.
I think you're getting away from how we should celebrate Forensics Week.
No, I got it. This is a part of it. We would love, I don't know if this is in your capabilities, for Forensic Week, we should get a therapy pet for the whole week.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean,
Where's this pet going to come from?
what do you
The-
mean?
Do you
Uh,
have one on
There's
standby?
so
or
many shelters where dogs need to be rescued, and we
Yeah.
should rescue it and bring him to the forensic unit.
Like a little therapy
We'll have a
week.
conversation.
That'd be so much
We'll have a
fun.
conversation.
Loophole.
Loophole. That's where that lies.
Blink if you say yes.
Yeah.
So in addition to that, though, I think you were going to make some points about Forensics Week. I know it's a a celebration not only for our department, but other professionals
Yeah.
in the field, locally and abroad. Are you aware of any activities that may be going on in the community or in other departments that maybe we can participate or network with?
do we have any activities?
Or do you know of any?
I don't know, but that would actually be really cool if we could get together with like other jurisdictions
Sure.
for Forensic Week. Because we do see them in training and stuff, so like we have some connections. But that would actually be really cool.
Looks
I
like
don't know.
something to pursue.
Yeah, if they
I mean, I feel
celebrate.
like it's been getting like bigger and bigger
It has.
every year.
Mhm.
Yeah, but there's not like a convention or something for just us.
No.
But at least none that we know of.
It's a long-term project.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
I appreciate your
forensics is ever
volunteerism.
growing, so-
Yeah, that would be very cool.
Yeah, some food for thought. Get with your people. Get back to the table, and we can see what we can do.
Yeah.
Broader, and if nothing else, moving forward for future opportunities, we can pursue those. So that's very encouraging.
Yeah.
And what would you like the community to know about what you all do?
It's a really great question. Glad you brought that up. I will say, because I think you've encountered it on a scene, and correct me if I'm wrong, is we want the community to know that, again, like we were going back to the show, it's not like you see on a show, like there is evidence there, but we kind of have to be directed towards like what exactly we're looking for.
Mhm.
And
a
it's like-
systematic approach.
Yes.
We can't just
Like you should just
Go in
know
there.
because
I
that's
mean,
your job.
obviously if it's a homicide or something and their loved one is there on the ground, we can't just go in there right away and pick up everything. Everything is a systematic approach.
Mhm.
It's very methodical.
Mhm.
I mean, there's a process. That process, as you all indicated, sometimes can take 8 to 12 hours.
Yeah.
It's solely intended to collect evidence and information that would help us not only identify the person that may be responsible for crimes, but then hold them accountable in a court of law and have a successful prosecution. And although from the outside looking in, it looks like we're just moving slow, but it's very deliberate. It's very precise. Some of the details and information and evidence that is collected is minute, some of which can be even microscopic.
Yeah.
And with that, the process needs to just run its course. And you all you're very thorough and meticulous. So that is time consuming. And
And
just,
at the end
Yes.
of the day, like you only have that period of time to get all your evidence.
one shot to get it right.
You can't go back
Right.
to it 2 days later, anything like, especially if it's outdoors. So
Mhm.
it may seem like overkill at the time, but when court comes around, all that is hopefully going to be worth it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So what are plans moving forward, ladies? Training opportunities, professional opportunities. What does the future look like?
I mean, I will say we've gotten better in progressing our training. There are a lot more training opportunities that are given to us, which is nice. It is hard because obviously like we have a budget and stuff, so there are some things that do get like cut here and there. But you know, we are looking into like specific specialties for all of our specialists that they can go into, so that can help.
Yeah.
The future is bright.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I am actually the cell phone
Yeah.
person for the unit. So I do all the phone extractions and everything. So that's my specialty. I would like to expand my knowledge in that and our equipment and capabilities, but I don't want crime scene to fall to the wayside. So
Sure.
trying to advance both.
If you could talk to a young person that was interested in pursuing a career in crime scene, what advice would you give them? What coursework would you suggest? How would they prepare themselves to be a viable candidate for any agency that should wish to hire a crime scene person, a forensic technician?
You can go into science-related fields like biology, chemistry. I know it's like far and few in between with schools that actually offer a forensics program.
Like criminal justice.
But I really enjoyed my forensics program, actually like hands-on crime scene experience of, you know, the things that you're going to be doing of processing for evidence and everything like that. So, and there are, even if you can't get into it in a major in college, there are organizations online that you can take classes through. I forget the name of it. It's like National Justice Institute or something like that. They did have crime scene courses online for free. So there are options out there if you just want to learn about the information that you're going to be seeing every day in this field.
I will do a little caveat to that. It is great, obviously, being in science. I didn't really have like a science background. I just had a justice studies and criminal justice background, which is good. I think you'd agree, English is a very important background to have as well. We do a lot of report writing, a lot. And it's not, and like as much as it is nice going like on a field and stuff, we come back and it's a lot of reports.
Hours of paperwork.
That's
and it's
what
like
people
long.
don't see.
They don't see that because it's the boring part.
Sure.
But it's like pages of just long report writing.
Wow.
So like make
Packaging
sure
evidence.
But it's like make sure your English and grammar is correct because oh man, that can get you into trouble. Yeah.
And see, I would have never thought that.
Yeah.
That's good to know. Yeah. Good stuff.
Spelling.
Oh, wow. Anything I'm missing? Anything you just want to say?
Well, I don't know. I was just going to say thanks so much. We heard like about your push to actually improve the forensic unit and to get us the Pharaoh, which has been talked about and it has been pushed to the side. But when we heard you were fighting for it, like, I feel like that just means a lot to us because it's like you actually, I heard you like saw us like on our hands and knees on that one scene. And I was like, that wasn't the first time. And that was like not as bad as it has been to like doing stuff like that. So it's like, that would just, it would just improve so much more.
Like
for the
I
things
feel
that we
like
can do.
for forensics in general, obviously, like I said before, it's a ever-growing field. But the equipment has advanced a lot in recent years.
Yeah.
So the unfortunate part of that is those things cost a lot of money.
Yeah.
But
so
like even in terms of like cell phone tools and like that's a relatively new growing field, and then the Pharaoh scanner, but there's a benefit to all those things.
Absolutely. The advantages of technology, of course, disadvantages, technology is expensive. And no matter when you get it, the next day, it's dated. So you have to stay on the cutting edge of it. And then when you compare that cost to, you know, the quality of life and the time used to actually process scenes, especially when you all are out sometimes for hours and then you get home, you settle in, and then there's another call that requires your attention. So, you know, of course, we have to keep that in mind when we're making those management decisions. And so if technology is available and we can afford to do so, then we're certainly going to pursue that to enhance the quality of life and the ability for you all to do your jobs more sufficiently. So
I will say one of the things I appreciate about Hampton is, you know, even though we don't have the most advanced technology, some jurisdictions don't do measurements by hand and they've never learned to do measurements by hand. So, you know, technology breaks.
Yes.
So at the end of the day, if that does happen, we still know how to go about our job. So there you go. But we would like to. Thanks.
All right. Thank you all. So again, it was an amazing opportunity to speak with you, lovely ladies. I absolutely am appreciative of the work you do. You do so much behind the scenes. The general public and some of the members of the agency don't know, you know, how it's dedicated to all, how important the work is, how much it takes to do the work that you do. So we're celebrating not only Forensics Week, but also all the members of our forensics unit, again, because you are certainly appreciated. I speak personally and for the organization when I say, you know, you guys are invaluable and we appreciate you and we celebrate you this week. And if there's more we can do, we certainly would pursue that. So I thank you for your attention, your time, and assisting us today with this interview.
Thanks for listening to Unveiled, a podcast that highlights the extraordinary men and women of the Hampton Police Division. To learn more about the Hampton Police Division, check us out on social media and on our website at www.hampton.gov/police.